Because right now it seems like it's doing it, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to see, you know, the
Think.
screen popped up. All right, wonderful. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are live through Bookie at the same time. Grandmaster Jerry Fastby Fontanez and Master Ty. Here we go, y'all. This is the way I want to do it in the future. And I haven't had a chance to actually do it like this, where we do the Zoom for people who are guests, and we also go live to Facebook at the same exact time. So let me ask you a question. How do you feel?
Awesome. And
Beautiful.
getting better.
That's a great answer. Super good and getting better. So, guys, I'm Grandmaster Jerry Fastby Fontanez, the founder of the Unified Martial Arts Network that has the Fountain of Youth National Tour with what would be Region 11 launch. And that being the case, I'm interviewing 100 people. This is interview number 4, believe it or not, of what would be 100 between now and that date. Quite a few, but it's important to me because us one, we are all important. It's not about just me, but it's about us being number one.
Oh
That
my
being the case,
one.
welcome, Master Chai. How you? Welcome.
Thank you, sir. I got to give you that traditional kung fu because you told me that's where you started.
Yeah, my first style was Kung Fu. I think it was Long Fist or something like that because I don't remember. I was so young. I started April 19th, 1976, but this was at least 2 years before that. We're talking about 1974, which is crazy.
Wow.
I was exploring on the block and I shouldn't have left. You know, lucky my mom didn't find me. Otherwise, she would have been whipping my butt. You know, but so the bottom line is that, hun, can you just confirm that it's still actually still going? Because I changed screens so I could be in the real time one. Otherwise, it's a little delay in between. I want to see if it's playing. Raise it so I can hear it, just to make sure it's still live. Wait. Okay. So I apologize for the delay, guys. They'll do some. So Master, so much students in sniper fighting, not one of the just certified instructors in sniper fighting, but you have also become my sparring partner. And we're up to how many rounds now?
What about 15?
15-ish, because sometimes we add a few more, so there's a little ish in between there. I think I might have snuck in about one or two more the last time, because gotta push the envelope. Cause just, but can you please let people know how did we start with what would be our workouts? Because they think it's straight into whoa. We have a little bit of wisdom there coming in, doing her sponsorship. Make sure you cut that check. No, I'd rather have cash. So, honestly, what has changed in what would be our training or your training in the last 9 months or so?
Last 9 months was definitely a shift. We went from very slow sparring. I got the videos where we was just going over the drills and whoa. And then we had a conversation about starting to really take it up a notch. And after that conversation, it really did go up a notch. Then the tournament came.
We were doing 3 point for a while,
Hmm.
and then I squeezed a few 5 points, and so it was definitely a slow cook. It wasn't it wasn't just boiling and throw everybody in,
We
right?
worked our way up to it.
A lot of people are intimidated when I ask them coming down to work out, and they're thinking, "Oh hell no, I'm not gonna come in there and spar with you." We didn't even have equipment when we first started.
That's a fact.
I had no headgear, and you actually had a pink headgear that we got from Miss Little Bit, and then you stopped wearing that, and you got the mask, and then you got
Uh-huh.
the blue ones, which I don't know. Again, I don't know who gave me that, and I don't know who gave me that equipment. I'm still trying to find out so I can thank these people.
Yeah, I like that blue.
Yeah, it's the metallic blue. So again, what has changed in your abilities as far as you go? If you had to explain to someone what has the experience been like?
Well, the experience has been challenging, and there's also been I would just say an awakener because a lot of stuff I put down for a while when I stopped competing. So now things have just start. The training just allowed me to start waking up other things that have been dormant, like awakening the giant.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you're definitely awakening the giant within, and also awakening what would be your champion. You do techniques that you have no idea what you're doing half the time. I mean, your body does. So it kind of reminds me of when my mother used to say to me, "You mean you don't know what you're doing?" I said, "Mom, I knew what I had to do, but I don't know what I was going to do, and I don't know what I did until I watch it."
Yeah, that one.
When you watch the videos and you see the kicks that you throw, have you surprised yourself?
A few times. A
Because
few
quite
times.
often, in order for me to really score on you, like I've said many times over, I have to set you up and then set up another setup. Otherwise, if I go tit for tat, I'm gonna lose because you're gonna come and blitz me. You know, the last workout we had, man, you was
So
out of there.
I, my body was moving before the mind.
Yeah, weapon before body, something that's very important. If you're gonna tell someone a strategy to be able to go compete in a tournament before they did that, and they had, let's say, 3 months leading up to it, what would be your advice?
Mm, 3 months.
Well,
Wow, a strategy.
let's think about the first tournament. I announced it in June, and we
Hmm.
had it in September during the holiday season. I should say the summer season. Maybe not the ideal time. Did the tournament itself surprise you? What was the most surprising thing about the tournament to you?
I think the most surprising thing was that we had way more competitors than I thought we was gonna have. Yeah,
And they came from all 50, a
all
total of
over.
16 places.
Yeah, that was definitely surprising to me. And see so many other legends that came out and compete.
Even spectators themselves
Yeah, both.
and judges, of course, and participants. So yeah, it was definitely not your normal event. What was your favorite part?
I think my favorite part was getting back into the Kumite because it'd been a while. More of the Kumite, more of the than the forms because it'd been a while.
Well, I think you got to be in better shape to do forms when it comes to fighting.
That too.
Forms is no joke, guys. I came up with a phrase years ago called "kata fag," and I'm gonna have to apologize because it's almost like we're fighting fags. Because the truth of the matter is that sparring is easier to do than forms. It's
Hello.
exhausting. You could be out of
Yeah,
shape. You could be out of shape in sparring and still win. In the forms, you can't make believe you jumped up, and that's what it seems like to me when you're sparring. It's like you're doing forms. You're doing the double round, stick pop up, spinning hook.
right.
So let give me what was your inspiration, motivation, or desperation to start off in the martial arts?
Well, around the time of 1976, I was just on the earth, but it wasn't until 1989 I did my first class. 88 and 89. I was dealing with some challenges with the bullies in the neighborhood, and one of my good friends told me there was a class right there in Claremont Park. I normally wrestle with him. This time he was throwing strikes at me, and I'm like, "Oh, what's all this?" So finally, he told me about the instructor who was Elder Supreme, JB the Puppet, and I went up there that night, smoking my weed, and I didn't know that was gonna be my last day smoking, and I wound up was able to let it go and let the skills flow. Yep, 1988, Claremont Park.
That's pretty incredible because 1988 was a significant year. That's when I started New York's first sport karate training center on Zurich Avenue. Well, I should say the Zurich section with the corner of Parker and Westchester, which of all people, Miss Little Bit lived up the block years after, which was kind of crazy when I think
Oh
about it.
wow.
Yeah, her family still has a home not too far, right in the immediate
When
neighborhood.
he told me that the first time, I said, "Oh my god!" I
Wow.
wish would have saw
That's
him earlier.
your stomping ground, right?
So you started training in '88, Claremont Park. How many different parks that you're actually training for? What you know, give me an idea because
Whoa.
most people don't understand. When we say the park, guys, we literally mean the urban jungle, the parks.
The parks. There was aside from the school areas, there was a couple. There was actually that very first day we actually ran to T-Bout and 183rd to go train in the basement. And I believe Grandmaster Lee was over there. And that's where they probably got the spot from. So we ran all the way through the Bronx, carrying people on our back, walking on our hands through the streets to get to 183rd and then get down there inside the basement area and train.
People have no idea that when you want to train, regardless of money or lack of money, excuse, no excuse, if you really want to make something happen, you make it happen, no excuses, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I was just grateful for the opportunity instead of watching Shaw Brothers movies and Bruce Lee movies on Saturday.
And that's what
Hey,
I
I
wanted
got a
to ask
chance to
you.
participate.
Right, before you started training there, what was your first inspiration? And you mentioned Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, watching those driving movies, I said, man, I got to get cut like Bruce Lee, man. They got all the muscles.
Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah, yeah. And
Wow.
that was a great inspiration. Just seeing a lot of the guys in the class were able to not be on drugs, but still able to control the temptations around the neighborhood, from the alcohol to drugs, stuff like that.
So you found another way to numb yourself. Besides,
Yeah.
you were so numb.
My my
I,
my my
I
friends
can't
used to
smoke.
want to
Why?
do it all the
It
time.
can't come up to my face. I can't do it.
It took me a while, but I slowly, as I start competing more, I realized I'm already struggling with asthma. And I said, I don't need no more things on my plate that are bad habits. So it was just almost like my spirit was talking to me. And one time I went to class, and the lady said, "You're pretty good, but it seemed like she was almost like she was saying you was missing something. Like maybe you still got that. Every time you come to class, you're complaining about you had a fight with somebody." you know. I said, I guess that comes with the territory. But at that time, I was also dealing with anger issues and stuff, and bullies in school. But it started to come down.
So you was born 1976. Was that in Harlem, USA? I believe it was Harlem, if I remember correct.
Harlem Hospital, yeah.
Harlem Hospital. And did your family ever live in Manhattan, or was it just where you
Oh,
were
yeah.
born?
Before we went to the Bronx, yes.
What age?
The
What
Lincoln
age did you?
Project.
Okay. What's your latest the first memories of that?
Um, well, pretty much just going over there every summer, spending time with my grandparents, and going upstate, coming back to Harlem, New York, being there with the family. We had a big family with my father and his brothers. They had a big couple brothers in the house. And they had, I tell you, my uncle had about 23 children.
No
Yeah.
television.
Yeah. So big family. And I had a good time growing up doing the push-ups. That's why I love physical fitness so much, because we had to get up literally every morning before breakfast and knock out about 10 to 25 push-ups.
Whose idea was that?
My father, my uncle, If you wasn't hitting that pull-up bar, when they went downstairs, they would hit that pull-up bar too, but it was just mandatory. Get up, brush your teeth, then hit them push-ups.
Wow. So was it from a military standpoint or the penal system or both?
Right, right. That's a good question. Because my dad actually, God bless him, he passed. He actually had some awards for being able to power lift too. And he said he had did, he had got a bid one time. So came out, cleaned himself up, and I was like, oh,
If I remember correct, you also said that your father was an actual entertainer or singer or something
yeah,
like
he
that.
was a singer with the Coasters.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he used to be with Larry Marshak, guy
Yak the
named.
yak, don't talk back. Is that the closest?
Yeah. You got a good memory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
I told him one time, I told him, teach me how to sing. I want to just learn it. It looks fun. He told me, go listen to the Temptations and just try to do what they do. And I said, I'm going to learn. Then when I went down to Harlem, I see him teaching other children. I said, hey, they get all the good stuff. Then
Yeah.
one time, JB came over there, Elder Supreme JB came on. They was in there. Him, my uncle, and my dad was in there blowing. They call it blowing. He's
Right,
like, oh,
exactly.
my son.
A jam
They
session.
was in there blowing. I was like, wow. They sound like the guys in the rap when they doing the
Yeah,
ciphers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Doing the cipher, except that there was the doo wop in the corner. Yeah, they used to do it near the light. So, if you had to say that martial arts changed your life, what aspect of it at the time when you first started were you most embracing? And you mentioned the exercise, but I tell
Yeah.
you right now in a second, I'm not a fan of the exercises. I'm more of a fan of the kick people to the head.
He, like I said, aside from the exercise part, I think when I was in Bronx Community College, the spiritual, the philosophical side of it started drawing me too. At that time, I was reading stuff from Tony Robbins, the Think and Grow Rich tapes. And I said, wow, this thing is showing me how much negative stuff I got to get rid of from food to deal with my allergies. I mean, my asthma and my allergies too. And I said, wow, I got to let go a lot of junk. So it was just an eye waker by the time I get to college and I was going to be, a young father. I learned that I got to let a lot of this stuff go. And psychologically, when I was learning about semantics from Tony Robbins, I was like, "Oh my God, I can't speak like that to myself, and I can't speak like this about that situation." And it was just like a wake up call.
Who turned you on towards that information? Because that's not what you would normally get a kid from the ghetto, so to speak, or as the hood as they call it today. How did you get
You know
drawn
what's
towards that?
interesting? I think I seen a tape on the TV because I used to watch a lot of TV at that time, and I remember seeing the tapes. That I might have ordered the tapes.
Personal power too.
Now, if I did order them, then I might have got them from a thrift shop or something, because I remember seeing them.
Oh yeah, they
And I
had.
always used to buy books, get books from thrift shops, libraries. Even when I was learning Tabo with Billy Blanks, I couldn't get there to get the certification. So I went to the library. I got all the tapes to study them. Already I purchased the videotapes, but he had a book at the library. And I read the book. I said, okay, I got to learn more about cueing because he got very good cues, So I learned how to cue and everything. And then I went to go get the cardio kickboxing with Ernie Reyes and them team. There was a brother in the Bronx. Forgot his name. He used to have a school on Morris.
Yeah, George
George.
Calderon.
Yeah, and I went and got certified with him.
Oh
And I was
wow.
doing my little cardio kickboxing, mixing my own little other elements in there. It was cool
George
journey.
Calderon is one of the best kickers of all time. He literally used to come over to my karate school as far back as 1988 and 89. He was there, and we actually used to work out together back in maybe as far back as 84. And he's a little older than me. He was a gymnast also. But
Hmm.
I remember he said to me, "Hey, I have this location, but it's too close to you, and I don't want to open it up." I said, "Where is it?" He said, "Morris Park." I said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Any 5 block radius in any direction is a whole new neighborhood. and sometimes even less than that. You know, people stay within a 2, 3 block radius to the right, to the left, forward and back, and sometimes only to the right and the left. So you know,
Mm.
do it. And that was the Morris Park area.
Yeah, it
So
was a nice little operation over there.
it was the best small school I ever saw because it was small, but everything was professional.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that location. He used to come all the way from New Jersey, if anything, to train, which is kind of crazy. So props to Jorge George Calderon, who his uncle and instructor was at the UMAN event. That Spider Rodriguez, which was kind of crazy when I think about it.
Well, George, yep. Cardio kickboxing.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question again. So you start going into. It seems like while you was training in martial arts at the park with JB the puppet, that you got into the fitness world. Um, where did you teach at during that time?
My first spot actually was in Lucia Roberts.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was
Wait, wait, hold on a second. How do you get a chance to teach at Lucille Robbins when everyone there was a girl? Wasn't that women's only?
but I actually was a benefit. But for the most part is they denied me the first time I went in there with my karate papers and they told me I had about 60 days to get certified. I seen what the step aerobics teacher did. I actually did the class. She said, "Could you do that?" I said, "Yeah, I could do that. You know, no problem." He gave me enough time to go get my certification. So after they said no the first time, I came back and they let me in.
Wow. And
Let
again,
me in, and
that was a
I
place that
started
was interesting because it was a
learning and
learning
earning
experience.
much as I could.
Now, what that was the location? There was a Lucille Roberts that was on the circle of Park Chester, and I know there was a few other ones, but did you ever train in that one?
Yes, yes, that was like a movie theater over there.
It used to be a theater. It used to be called the Circle back in the day,
Oh wow,
and then it became Club Circle when we started doing jams there. That's when the Rocksteady crew got back together in 1991, and that was one of the events that we actually was participating in. And then it became Lucille Roberts because it was a big place.
right. Then it became a church. Yeah, wow, that spot. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. So let's fast forward to September 20th, 2025. Talk to me about that event.
that event was awesome. It came so fast, and we had a blast. There was so many great fighters in there that night. We recorded. I had a chance to get in there, and somebody was reminding me how much weight I lost. He said, "How you lost all that weight?" I was looking like I didn't even see myself losing that much, but I was glad to get back in there, do what I had to do, see so many familiar faces, and do much better than the first tournament that I went to with you in Queens.
I'm going to say that too. So we had an event probably about 4 years ago now, and you competed. What I loved about you, what I love about you, the first time I saw you do the martial arts with Grandmaster Aaron Banks, and I was talking about how crazy it was for this guy to climb to the top of the stairs, I should say ladder, jump, flip, land on his leg, almost broke it, get up, and still limped away. And within the next 15 minutes, give or take, he was fighting. I'm like, man, this guy takes the liquor and keeps on ticking. It's like freaking time
Yeah,
karate.
and we had to pray before that fight. I was like, we're gonna need some divine intervention right now, because I wasn't the only one injured. Two of the other guys were injured too. Jason Lee and Allen, who came down to work out with us.
And that was back in 19. Wow, I would have to, if I had to guess, it would be somewhere around 1999 or 1998 or something like that. You know?
Yeah, or '94.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of those.
let, let, Well, it wasn't 94 because functionist karate was still open. So it was slightly right after I sold the school. So that's why it has to be between 97 and because I remember actually it might have been 98 because I was up in Fishkill, New York. So it was a weekend and I came down and I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing a leather cut off vest, jacket, brown.
The good stuff.
It's crazy. Kind of reminds me of the Taino nation jacket that I have, except that that one was leather. It was brown leather. I remember when I bought that. But yeah,
Wow.
I thought that you was man. This guy
I
has
know
some
Elder
heart.
still got the trophy there. I'm gonna go take a look at the trophy because Elder, I gave him the trophy. He still got it for the team.
Wow. So and then literally you came to a sniper fighting seminar in 2016.
Yep.
What do you remember about that?
I felt like that was like right on time because right down the block from there, I did so many sessions training right there in that school. I forgot the name of it, but that school right there, Elder Supreme, used to train us a whole lot, even in the basement. So coming up there to train, I said, "Oh yeah, this just feel like I'm back home." And I went there. I tell you, we've been in so many areas of the Bronx training, and if it was a snow, okay, guys, come down. We're gonna be snowing today. We're gonna be shoveling the snow today at the school. Woo, they even talking about the winter. Boo. In the
Man,
summertime training.
throughout, yeah, so it didn't matter what weather it was, whether you was inside or outside, you was training. How many days a week?
About maybe 3 or 4. It was so fun. Sometimes we would do the weekend sometime.
How many people came only to the one class or 1 week and you never saw them again?
Mm. You said who never
How many
came back?
people do you think only took one class or came for 1 week and said, I'm not
Oh,
doing this?
I've seen a few people do that because they took that test. They had to do about 500 jumper jacks, 500 push-ups, 500 sit-ups, and a lot of people got to 25 and they said, "See you when I see
You
you."
hear that? They got because hey, they said what? They won 500 jumping jacks. So when you did that, what was in your mind to think to continue?
That's a good question. I think because I was so passionate to learn it and want to deal with my challenges at the time, I just pressed through. And then it got harder. Every time you got a belt, that 500 went up to another 2,000 or 3,000.
Wow. He
And then
said,
I had to realize from a training perspective that I got to be mindful of all those reps because I tried to do it one time again when I was a trainer and my calves was hurting for like literally a week. I tried to do all.
because it was if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, that's what I learned. And I had a guy film it too.
Well,
And he's,
I doubt if he has film, but he might have video. But that's okay. You're showing your
yeah, the
age now.
video.
So let's get back to the sniper fighting. You come and you participated in the seminar. Was it anything that you expected?
This was a lot of new drills that I never had done. Me, I started to really get excited about the different training that martial artists did. Not everybody trained their knuckles just by punching the bag. A lot of people didn't do the knuckle push-ups. So I was just always excited how so many different wonderful martial artists train differently. And to do your workout, I mean, I was doing stuff. I was like, whoa, I got to write that down. Oh, I got to ask some more questions after the seminar over so I can overstand it, because it was different, but it was an awesome experience.
So um, it really came from, as you know, great Joe Lewis himself, who taught the left right drill. I just made some adjustments accordingly. Then I found out recently that Joe Lewis was taught by Sugar Ray Robinson of all people. Even though we knew that he was a
Wow.
Bruce Lee student, and like I said, I've said this many times, but for people that don't know, Joe Louis, who was the greatest American fighter of all time, according to many, passed away in
Yeah.
2012, and in 2013, I got inducted into the Eternal Warrior Award. So I always reference him because there was a time where a lot of people didn't know who he was any longer because years had passed, maybe 20 years, give or take. So by the early 1990s, he wasn't the same, recognized by the bulk of the people. But I
Hmm.
always gave props where it was due. Billy Blank showed me how to blitz. Nasty Anderson, rest in peace, showed me how to dive bomb. Joe Louis, rest in peace, I was his assistant 3 times between
Wow.
1985 and 86. And then throughout the years, I've made some adjustments accordingly to help people with the kicking too, because I kind of messed up my kicking for a while because it was boxing. But what was your biggest surprise of the workout itself?
I think the biggest surprise was because I always was running around, get more knowledge about different routines as a trainer and martial artist. But I think the biggest was that it was very different. The only thing that I could pinpoint and put my hand on was when you did something with the clap push up, because I had that training with the bartenders, but it still was different because the martial arts aspect was there. It wasn't just like doing a clap push up. You was also doing some other stuff and dive bombers and stuff. And I was like, whoa, this is different. But I like it because now I had to wrap my head around it to understand it and implement it, hopefully in a group fitness class.
So now, fast forward to last year, we're in the school in Manhattan, and we start doing some sparring, a little different now, working on the wooden floor as opposed to the
Hmm.
the mat. And what was, give me some overview of that. How did that feel when you start seeing the dive bombs and the blitzes?
Yeah, that was awesome because now my brain started to digest it a whole lot better because I had actually been to two different, aside from the first one, uptown in the Bronx, and then I had been to two or three more workshop seminars right there inside the school. So my brain was starting to understand better about the inner workings of the move, and I was just like, wow. And then you show me some other stuff, and it started clicking better. Then I'm remembering the exercises from the first time you showed me, and it just got so much better because from the first seminar is almost like an elevation. Even the way you express the movements from the left right drill to even to the hopscotch drills was still the next level of it. So that was awesome to experience that. Then I had to really take some notes. Then when I
Right.
went back, I started to think, oh wow, I didn't even do this. Oh, now I gotta go back. So it made me want to practice more because I know that's the only way you're gonna really lock it in.
And how about what do you what would you say about lay down kicks?
Well, the lay down kicks was awesome because I started doing it just out of habit. I would be laying down one day and I was doing a certain kind of way on my back, right? And then we had some other exercises we used to do on our back, like when you're inside the gym pushing the leg press. But for the most part, is when I did the leg kicks that you do, it was so awesome because Billy Blanks used to do it on his knees. We used to get like on all fours. But now to do the leg down kicks laying down on the side, I say, yo, why didn't I think of that? I had one move that I did in a roll in the forms, and it was like I was slightly bent and would do a kick, but I never would thought about just laying down like that, just to go over all the major kicks. So I thought that was awesome.
What happens to your legs when that happens? When you do that?
Well, I start to see the the focus and agility of the kick a lot better. You don't have to worry about stabilizing. You're just working about just getting the leg up, execute. And over the years, me doing it, you start to show me more about the back and making sure the knee is in a proper place. So all that placement helped a whole bunch.
Like a sniper. Squeeze the
Yep.
muscle, lock them in, hit the target. If that doesn't, you recoil and shoot again. So what would be your advice right now if someone wanted to become what's your goal right now when it comes to you, man?
For you, man, for me personally, one of my goals is a constant and never ending improvement. So I see myself, whatever I did at the first tournament, I see myself doing even better at this next one in the upcoming tournaments to come.
Well, how about I tell you that you're gonna be the youngest in the 50 to 54 division?
That means we turn the clock back.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that today because you said it so much. I said, wow, we actually have the opportunity to take better care of ourselves and kind of still use all that wisdom that we had prior, even if we're not even doing it as much. But I'm just saying, just the ability to have the ability to be able to do it and still keep the skill levels up. Even when you were showing me with the split, and I just said it's all about the perspective. So I'm just grateful and thankful. We have some help even coming out the hospital when I was in there before the tournament because of my blood pressure. And then we stumbled onto the super patches. So I told people, why would I say no? Like I'm a praying man and God helped me even before we got the super patches. But I said, now when I see people struggling, I said, it's just not for me. Mm. I said, what's that?
So today was a little bit. I said, honey, I don't have no patches on. She said, we're gonna take care of that. So then there's five there. Well, that's four, and then there's another, I believe, three, and yeah, three. So I guess that's seven.
I put some extra tape on mine.
Make sure you last 24 hours, man. Squeeze it.
Yeah, yeah. I put the peace, I put the joy. And you know what? I tested myself today. I said I'm gonna work out without the patch. I came out that gym, my back was sore. What else? My shoulders was sore.
It's just not the same, right?
I slapped that patch on so fast. My watch was like,
Oh my god.
yo, I felt so good. 4 hours later, I was ready to hit that gym again.
Yeah, but the first time it hit you, and you're like, ow. I know there's been times
So
that we've been
why you
sparring.
didn't put your patch on?
There's been times that we've been sparring and you're doing good, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, yeah, and we look down on the floor. There's the patch. There's the
Pick
power.
me up, pick me up.
We even found it there, right? About a week after. Wait a second.
Hey,
Are those two
that's a,
patches, right, honey? You found patches on the floor? Yeah. I was like, oh, they're not mine. I guess we're going to have like 5 layers of clothes so it couldn't come out.
yeah. And me, you know me, I start sweating. But I'm learning, don't put it on my belly, because if you got a lot of hair on your stomach
Oh,
that you didn't cut,
I cried yesterday. I was like, ah! Oh no, hell no, I'm not putting that there. All it is pull out hairs. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious to me. You know, we've also been involved in what would be the direct sales industry, of course, with Super Patch is one thing, but what's the difference between the way Super Patch and what could have been something like, which is phenomenal too, the coffee or anything else you might have referred, whether it was, you know, isogenics or even Shackley, you know. So what's the difference between Super Patch?
what I like about the super patch, because I remember being in a few companies, but the main one with the OG, they had the personal
Personal
development part,
goals.
which was good.
Oh
But
no
with
no no no
super
no.
patches, right?
Yeah yeah. So basically, you get involved in the direct sales industry, but then you start learning about Les Brown and Zig Ziglar and all these people.
Hmm.
So the people you're speaking to are entrepreneurs, and their conversation is different. They start referring things that are just phenomenal and has nothing. You know, just being involved in network marketing puts you around people that are hungry to increase the quality of their lives and they want to help people. So that environment changes immediately.
Yeah. That's right. I was actually shocked to see with Super Patch, and it helped me not to be much of a skeptic when I started to see that there were actually other believers, saying that will work in the business, and they were seeing past, like me. I think I was looking more at a religious level of it. The little fear start to creep in because it's something
That was
different.
funny. That was funny because you said you put the patch on, and he said, "No, no, I'm gonna go the holistic route." I'm thinking, what's more holistic than your brain? What are you talking about? And then, you know, but it is challenging because when you see something change so fast, you go, "What the heck is going on here?" It's almost scary.
Yeah, and then I think some of those ideas when people, when people start talking about the chip, I said, wait a minute, chip, does this look like a chip? It might have been a couple ideas.
That listen, that's a legitimate scare. That's why I didn't take my COVID shot, and I was supposed to be the nutty professor, but
I'm glad you didn't.
I couldn't.
I mean, not no judgment to anybody who did, but I remember this preacher said, he said, listen, I got to get in that country to preach. He said, and if God was able to help that guy who got bit by a snake and help him heal, he said, I know He's gonna protect me. And he took that thing. I said, okay. I think that was Gino.
Wow. So, as a competitor, presently getting ready to compete February 28th, what's your goal there?
Well, as a competitor, one of my goals is to enjoy the journey and crushing all the competition. I got to
Excuse
do
me.
what I got to do.
Excuse me.
I said, dominate.
Whoa, you went from crushing to dominate. So it seems like to me like you're committed to becoming better than you ever have been while competing against yourself.
I have to, especially considering all the years that I took off, distractions, challenges, you know. And then recently I said, you know what? Now I just have to start to embrace this opportunity even a lot more because it's fun. Plus, there's a lot of people that's coming out and they love what they do as well. So it's a win-win for everybody, and
Can
it
you
keeps us on point.
right? Can you
Like I think
imagine?
about,
Yeah. Can you imagine when we put super patch on people? I mean, it happened at a birthday party.
I seen what Elder Supreme did when he was there, and he started grooving.
He dropped down to his knees, started doing a knee spin. I'm like, what
Yeah,
the heck?
yeah. I said,
Nobody,
wow.
they can't even go down to their knees. They got a little spin on their knee.
Yeah. And now I got to get that footage too. I forgot to take a clip of that because that was something else. Make you feel so good, you start going into some new moves, and that's what I've been experienced too when I spar.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. I think, and talk about it as a third person. How does it feel? And I'm just trying to be honest because when I look at the matches and I watch us spar. I literally and I rewind it and I watch us spar. I'm saying, man, and I'm like, there's so many times that you're just there getting ready to hit me, and you would have hit me, but I just moved slightly out the way. That kick was gonna kick me right in the face, man. Like it's happened a bunch of times, and so on and so forth. And it bothers me when people have an opinion. They go, "Oh, how come he's other?" Man, you have no idea what he's not hesitating. Explain some of that.
I think that sometimes people don't understand the concept of 60s to 70s, like we was talking about the Cuban fighters. And even I read that even in competition, you're not as the karate expert, you're not supposed to give the full power. You hold back a little bit because it's not a full contact match. So I'm glad that you remind me a couple of times, like, yo, Ty, you know what I'm saying? We still practicing. So I think that's what people just got to rub their hand around. Just like recently, I was watching Billy Blank spar, and I see certain things he's not doing, and I said he's probably doing because he's just training them. Some of them are still getting their knowledge up. So
That's a portion of it, but Mr. Blanks, or I should say Quadrinum Blanks, He's recuperating from the hip operation. It's plural, I believe, and he still doesn't have the confidence, which is legitimate, to do some of the things he will be doing in the next few weeks. But I've seen progress already. Now he's starting
Me
to see
too.
the blitz and so on and so forth. But it's interesting because of course, I always give him credit, give credit where it's due. But at the same time, presently, he's not ready. Not for me. He will be ready for someone maybe in the 70s, no question. But without sounding anything opposite, but just opposite from braggadocious, I'm just being honest. Um, I don't know. I mean, I know, but sometimes I move and I do things that I'm like, what the hell just happened there?
What was that? Right.
Left side,
Like the
right
other
side.
day, we was ending that last round and you did that inverted kick, but you stepped in and you never did it like that before. And I was like, oh, that was different.
Yeah, or the front kick that comes from the bottom that I haven't done in I don't know how many
Oh
months.
yeah, yeah, that one.
And then you see yourself doing a jumping spinning hook. The heck?
Right. Where that come from?
Yeah, double rounds, kicking to a back leg round, get to a jumping spinning hook to a 360, and then I'm just moving and moving, and I might just go ding. Sometimes from all the fancy stuff, I just do one little knot, and then I'll throw not one punch, five punches if necessary. Most of them to the body, and then
Hmm.
recently I started to match your great back fist. I said, let me see if I can work on some of that back fist offense and defense. Coming
That
down.
one.
Yeah, so it forces me, since you're my sparring partner, it forces me to do different things in order to score on you. I can't wait to see you.
Bro,
Yeah, man, your progress has been phenomenal, and I think
thank
that
you for
people
all the
just
help.
don't. I don't think people just. Well, you know how I am. Yeah, let's talk about that. So, at what time would I spar? If somebody said to me, "Hey, let's spar at midnight," or work out at midnight, what would I do?
Or we do it in the morning, right? I know you.
No, I do it.
We worked
No,
out
anytime. I'd rather
anytime,
do it in the
anywhere.
morning to knock it out. Yes, only because you eliminate the excuses. I'd rather do it at 6 in the morning, 6 and 7 in the morning. I'll tell you why. Most people are still sleeping, and if you train while catching people while they're sleeping, it'll be great because it gives you the edge. Didn't we train New Year's Eve and then New Year's morning when other people
Yeah,
were getting drunk and having hangovers?
I used to get up around 4 or 5 too to run. Yeah.
Mike Tyson did the same thing. Catch people while they're sleeping. It gives you the edge. Catch them during the holiday season. It gives you the edge. And
Hmm.
how do you win? It's not a big thing. It's just a little bit. It's the slight edge.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
the
gotta read
attitude.
that book again. That book
Yeah.
was good.
The slight edge is no joke. It's real. It's
Right
not.
as
It's not.
philosophy.
It's not quantum leaps. Quantum leaps happen from compound training or compound time. You know me. 15 rounds. Let's talk about 15 rounds for a second.
15.
Talk to me.
Well, 15 could sometimes mean it's 17, but you thought it was 15.
Fifteen ish.
And it's always different. Sometimes we might start out really fast, or we might start off fast, go slow, then pick it up.
In
It's always
between,
different.
in between there'll be injuries, and then a half hour after you can't even tell.
Right. You shake them off,
That's
take them off.
that's super patch because I know that without that connection to the brain, I don't think I would be able to do some of the.
Yeah, would have been a lot of limping.
Yeah, that's the most surprising techniques. Really, I know you mentioned the inverted roundhouse kick while hovering, but what else? Either something that you did or something that I did that was like, whoa, what the heck?
Recently, I remember you did you came forward and you did like a It was like a hover, and you did about six kick combination. You remember that one?
Yeah, yeah,
About
yeah,
three
yeah.
weeks ago.
But this is the interesting part. I was trying to hit you with the first one. You didn't cooperate. So then I went for the second one. You didn't cooperate. I went for the third one. You didn't cooperate. So I kept having to get the rebound, get the rebound, get the rebound.
Wow. And I was good because it was flawless. Wow. And that wasn't on the kick. That wasn't on the leg that you were injured, was it?
Um, yeah, but not when I have the patch. When I have the patch, listen, up until 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I had a bad hamstring pull. And I re injured it while blitzing, of all things. But the recuperation time was just so quick that it was difficult to really determine that I was hurt. But no, I was hurt. I was in
Mm-hmm.
pain. Same thing. You got hurt to the side kick of the body, and you heard me go, ah! You know, 'cause it was like, yo. So I was hurt. I was hurt hamstring for about 4 months while sparring. You see a bunch of sparring. And my rib, easy 6 months.
Oh.
But it made me force do other techniques. You know, I mean, and most people won't spar 5 rounds, let alone 15. And then what do I normally do in between rounds?
So breathe, diaphragmatic breathing.
And I know if I can do it, you can do it too, guys. Because there's been days where Master Ty slowed down and he realized, wait a second, I'm supposed to breathe from my belly. Hey, and all of a sudden your body gets oxygenated
Yeah,
again and you're able to perform at least a little more.
facts.
You know,
That you know what's interesting? Because when I went to Bronx Community College, I remember studying about the Shaolin monks. I was studying Zen, Taoism, and they had a lot of tapes there. And I was learning that one of the main secrets to the Shaolin Temple, guess what it was? That
breathing.
breathing. And I was sitting there like, wait a minute. I said, let me go over there. And I went to go ask Elder Supreme. I said, which breathing method is better, the Taoist breathing or the Buddhist breathing, you know? And he, gave me his answer on that. And I was like, wow.
Well, you know, with me, I increase people's heart rate, make them gasp, or hit them in between breaths. And until it happens to you, you don't
So
understand
the
what that,
chill.
right? You don't understand what that's like. Recently, if you notice, I've been staying just out of the range and get that rebound, but it doesn't have to be even that hard.
Yeah.
You know, the person actually falls into it. What illusion do you think is the most confusing to you?
Um, I would say the illusion that you don't know is the illusion.
Yeah, because sometimes I just walk in and do something. Hey, what the hell? That window of
Hmm.
opportunity was there, and I had to go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. So, Master Ty, I don't want to take too much more of your time, but you made a commitment to, I believe, it sounds like you want to win Grand Champion. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm ready to go for what I know.
Yeah, Master
Go to the
Ty speaks.
top.
He speaks hip hop too. You know that he rhymes. I think he might be the descendant of Dolomite.
What's that other saying we used to say back in the days about the hand?
About what?
I'm ready to shoot the with that shoot the something. What we used to say back in the days?
Oh, I
Shoot the
don't know.
five.
High five. Now on the black hand side. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think that might be the one. Long as it ain't pity pat, and all that stuff there.
And so Master Ty, you and I both teach at the LPAC Center and the Flack schools. How's that experience been?
It's been amazing. I've been seeing the youth. I was just watching a video of you and them, and wow, it's just been
Oh,
an
you
amazing
you saw
experience.
that?
They was, I say, yo, I get my guys warmed up now. I say, yo, man, you see that spirit? So I'm letting them know, listen, you just can't. But then it also makes us better. So I like the saying us one because I sit them down and let them know it's not just about you. This is also about me improving as your coach and you doing your part, as a student. So they having a good time, eating it up. They've been working harder. And it's a powerful thing to see. I told them about the tournaments coming up.
Yeah,
So they excited about that.
I agree. It's funny to see. I had 18 kids in that class the other day, and the overwhelming majority were girls. And I'm like, that class doesn't fit 18 people, but we made it happen.
Mm,
And again, there's too many people for you. Maybe we should put some in drumming or whatever. I said, nah, you kidding me? Come on down. Whoever wants to. I don't want to reject anybody. You know, wasn't able to do it today and yesterday. A little heart wrenching, but we'll make adjustments accordingly
yeah,
to make sure that I make that because
make it up.
we're not in control of that. Anything else you want to share? And please, I apologize if we took too long, but what would you like to say for those people who maybe need some inspiration or they're in desperation or what have you?
Um, we used to say it like this. You don't want to be at a place where you got to say, I woulda, I shoulda, or I coulda. So just do what you got to do so that you can be able to encourage more people that you took action, whatever it is, because nobody's promised tomorrow.
You very well said. You know what I believe? I believe I'm 20, 20, 20, and I'm fighting for the next 40. And if I can get the next 40, when I'm halfway there, I'll probably change that to 60. Because when it comes down to it, life is short and it's called a gift. That's why they call it the present. And we don't want to take that present that the Creator gave us, the
Take
gift
it for
of life,
granted.
because what our gift is what we do with it, with our life back.
It's a fact.
Mr. Ty, I love you, brother.
Thank you,
I
Grandmaster.
appreciate you.
Love
And
you too, sir.
literally, the best is yet to come. Okay,
The best is
AB.
happening now.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this little bit. Do we have to pay her again? Because I think she already
Where's the
went.
nurse at? We got some checks for you, nurse. Some cash app.
All right. So, hey, another thing, guys, stay tuned. Master Ty and I are going to be sharing how to go wealth step by step, guys. Multiple streams of income are very important, and we have something that can save you a bunch of
Right.
money and at the same time help you earn some passive income by helping people save some money. And nothing wrong with that. Some of the stuff is the whopping total of what Miss Littlebit's favorite price is: $3.99.
$3.99.
ABC, yes, sir. Thank you. God
See
bless.
ya. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, sir.